So here we are. It finally happened. The Kingmakers game got delayed indefinitely by the developers with no warning, no nothing. Everybody was happy. Everyone was saying that this game was awesome. It was the best thing they've ever seen. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I made a video months ago where I got trashed, shit talked, made fun of and all this other shit because I happen to be a dev and I seen what state the game was in and I said, there's no way they can hit that date. This is not going to be a game that is finished on release. This is not going to be a game that is well polished. They announced the game and sold the game as a well polished, going to the past and doing this whole takeover system where you're taking over everything and you've got generals and soldiers and all this stuff. Okay. And I told people that's not possible, not with what they showed. What they showed to me was a staged gameplay. It was all staged gameplay. What you do is you go into the editor and you set up really nice looking scenes. Okay. Nice looking scenes that you can film for the trailer are not gameplay worthy scenes that can run and work like they're supposed to. Okay. They were highly edited, highly polished cuts between each one. Now you can go watch that video. It's a longer video because I was trying to figure it out as I was going, but I now know all the facts. So I have all the facts. Listen to me, don't listen to me, or just go to the comments and fucking bitch me out again. I don't care. The point is, I was right about the game and what they had to do. Now, what I didn't know when I made that last one, and I almost made another one when they delayed it. I almost made another one because I know why they delayed it. They delayed it because it wasn't fucking done. It was nowhere near close to being done. Now, in my original video, one of the things that people were pissed off about is I said, it wasn't a real game. And what do I mean by that? I do not mean that it was a fabricated thing that doesn't exist. I'm saying putting together scenes that look good in Unreal is not the same as making a game. Okay? I also didn't know that they weren't even using Unreal 5, which would have sped this up tremendously, but there's a lot of issues with Unreal 5 that us developers just do not want to deal with because they are not being handled well at all. They are being, frankly, developers are being gaslighted. Gaslight for the poor development of Unreal 5. It has nothing to do with us, and it has nothing to do with the systems that you're running. It has everything to do with their lack of support and fixing the bugs wrong. When you sell a product, Unreal, for example, and you say it's drag, drop, and ready to go, then it should be drag, drop, and ready to go. Developers, the whole point of Unreal 5 was so that developers didn't have to take the time to go back and make all these things themselves and do custom solutions for things. It was supposed to be drag, drop, and ready to speed development up, save them money, and it makes developers like me say, oh, I should use that engine because here's how much money we'll save by using Unreal. And here's how powerful it is, and here's how great it is, and people love it. And yeah, it was being sold that way, the same way that Kingmakers was being sold to people. So, here's the facts. There's 4 people that were working on this game. Whether they had to pull in more because of this fiasco, I don't know. Their team is made up of programmers. Okay? Now, I know for you non-dev people, that's confusing. You're saying, well, what does it matter if the team's made up of programmers? Well, guess what? A game is music, sound, fucking art. It's other shit. It's not just programming. Why did they need 4 programmers? Well, here's the deal. This is the only game that they have made. And while all it did was still... all this game did was take a title that people already liked and make a new version of it, okay? That's why it was popular. Has nothing to do with the team that made it. Any team could have made this and it would have done just as good. All they made is this writing system. Does that look familiar, guys? I'll tell you why that looks familiar. Because they took this fucking game and they ported these systems that they had already made into the writing systems that are in the game currently for Kingmakers to save money and time. While reusing a game's code that you own is not illegal, I just wanted to bring this up as one of the many reasons why this game has been delayed. And if you're pissed off that the game is being delayed, then good. Maybe you'll be on my side this time. That'd be pretty fucking nice. Because all I did was call out some of the bullshit that was going on, and I got a lot of heat for it. And, it's stressful because, all I'm telling people is the fucking truth, and I'm getting called a fat fucking cave troll on the internet. So that's whatever. Anyway, moving on. This is the only game that they have made officially. And is it a good game? People liked it due to nostalgia. But if you dig deep in the reviews and you actually go through them, people liked it enough, but this was not, certainly not a fucking $20 game. I can tell you that much. If you're going to buy this, get it on sale. This is like a hard six. This is like something you play when you're bored, okay? This is not, it's barely a game. Okay, moving on. They removed a lot of the stuff that was on their Facebook to hide the evidence, but the game that you were actually all excited about was this, okay? And while this doesn't look that bad, you should have seen the stuff that they fucking removed. You have super-powered superhuman generals in this that are hunting you down, and they're like mini boss fights, okay? I didn't realize that they presented this as some kind of like Dark Souls-esque like boss fight fucking whatever with terrible AI. I didn't realize they presented it like that, And to be fair, I am a little pissed. But there's your boss fights. Your generals are fucking several feet taller than regular humans. Supercharged, just so you know, wink. These are boss fights. Also, a lot of this, almost all of this UI is complete placeholder. And if you said, well, hey, I'm okay with placeholder. I'm okay with like indie style. I'm okay with that kind of stuff. Okay, that is fine. That is fine. You were okay with the game being mostly placeholder. And that's what it was. It took them 3 or 4 years to just make the system with the AI work correctly that we know of. I guarantee it doesn't. I guarantee it does not work correctly. I guarantee there are still issues. But it took 4 programmers, several years, and other people's money to make this one system that they bet the whole game on. Now, if you're someone who heard about that system and said, all I care about is getting to play with that system, fine. The other stuff that were shown in the game that they said that they would have in there is destructible buildings. What are destructible buildings? Essentially, they're physics simulators. They're breakable pieces that have physics. If you're excited about that, that is in the game. The AI is in the game. The breakable physics is in the game. The cars and the guns are in the game because they had a previous game that they stole code from, put it in this, and you can drive around and do stuff. Yes, that is in the game. Other than that, they have no maps. They have no menus, for that matter. They have done almost no work on the rest of the game. So what do we call that? Barely a prototype. You have to have menus. You have to have the ability to save your game. You have to have the ability to load your game. You have to have the ability, are they going to put achievements? Okay, that's another Every time you add something to the pile that they've already done, and it's already taken them 4 years to do, you have to say, okay, that's another few months. The goal that they set originally was unrealistic, completely unrealistic. Let's go through some more of these. This is normal though, okay? This is them showing what the dev version looks like. This is how it looks on their computer so they can test stuff and test it in an environment that makes sense. Now, this looks good. And absolutely, my whole thing with all of this is that date that they set could not have been achieved. And I said, is this a fake game? Like, is this one of those money grab fake games? Okay, then I found out Tiny Build was involved with it. Tiny Build does not get involved with fake games. So I said, okay, so it's not a fake game, you know? At least it's not a fake game. But it's not a finished game either. It's not a finished game at all. Like, most of this is not real. That's not real gameplay. Any developer can call this shit out. This is what gameplay looks like in the game. This is real. This is not edited. This is actual gameplay right there. Okay? They've clearly been working on their menus. They've clearly been working on their stuff. They've clearly taken a lot of Total War's stuff, but hey, this was not done a few months ago when I made my video. None of this existed. It was all placeholder. So my opinion of it was, it can't be a finished game. There's no way. It does not have the polish that people are expecting when they saw those trailers. What they were excited about was the idea of the finished game, and what they were seeing was not possible at the time. Now, Tiny Build has sunk an insane amount of investment into these guys, assuming that they could get it done. That's on them. If they cannot get it done, they're going to have to start covering their asses. In the future, in the next few months to a year, we will see either the title get dropped, because if these guys can't deliver, Tiny Build's going to want their money back. Okay? They've also leveraged themselves in other ways too. Tiny Build got them a movie deal for the movie to a game that it's not out. It does not exist. The movie could get finished before the fucking game does. My whole thing is this. Is the movie deal real? Absolutely. Does this game exist in the exact way that they presented it? Absolutely not, especially when I made that other video. I'm just trying to tell people that I am not fucking lying about this. This whole, doing the dev stuff for the last 10 years of my life, when I looked at this, it was so easy to spot out that this was all a cut together trailer to get people excited. And it did get people excited. But the other part of doing the game dev isn't just to cut together some bullshit and promise really big. You have to deliver the game. And these guys should honestly be fucking ashamed and they should sit in their rooms at night and worry, how am I going to get this game out? And there should be pressure on them. Not on fucking me for calling out what I see that's blatantly there. It should be on the devs. If you promise something, deliver. It's that simple. We all as gamers have put up with this shit for far too long. I know what it feels like to see something and really hope and be like, oh, this is going to be so cool. And then when it comes out, it's a big piece of shit. But it shouldn't have to wait that long for it to come out. for people to not attack me for telling them the truth. Now we know that the truth is, now we know what it is, then now it's fine. But it was just insane to me. We're going to go back because they definitely removed this shit. That's what's pissing me off, is they removed all of their stuff from when I initially saw this. I don't know if they just removed the video completely or it's just hidden. But we're going to go back a little here. All I'm saying is before it even got delayed the first time, before they did their big reveal announcement in that games spot thing, whatever that was. I think it was like awards or something. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Anyway, they've been basically touting that they're going to do all this whole time. And now that they're not, yeah, I feel a little vindicated because it's like, dude, I'm sitting here telling people what they're seeing is fake. Faked gameplay. And the fact that the developers, I shit you not, go look this up. They have quotes and videos where they talk about this game being better than GTA 6. I am not fucking kidding you. It is annoying, and someone has got to hold them fucking responsible for the dumb shit they say. Not just me. Because it's so annoying, dude. Yeah, they removed them. They removed all of the videos, dude. That's insane. So annoying. Like, when I see this...
of our new Octatree-based cover points.
Oh, yeah, there's their fucking AI voices that they use to do their... Here, I'll show it, because this is so stupid. This is their AI voice they use to read their shit.
Surroundings. Melee soldiers will split up and try to flank you. Archers will try to take cover.
But hey, I'm the one making shit up. I'm just saying, when I see this, I do not see a well-polished... I don't see the game that's in that trailer. And so my whole first video was, all I was saying was, this is not the game that's in the trailer. And there's no way that 4 programmers can deliver on that. And Tiny Build gave them money. Fine. Tiny Build gave them money. Tiny Build is a reputable company who supports games that, sell. Okay, fine. Totally. I respect Tiny Build, but they backed a real, weird game based on popularity and not research. They assumed that these guys could do it. They got them a movie deal. All I'm saying is this could go very bad if they don't finish the game. If it took them 4 years to get the physics for the houses, the driving, which was already partially completed, and the AI, which would have taken the longest because it is ambitious. But that doesn't mean because something is ambitious and they're saying that no other game can do anything like we can do. Even AAAs can't do what we can do. Okay, cool. How about we put our dicks back in our pants and actually do the work? And they did, okay, to be fair. But spending 4 years on one system of the game is the equivalent of making a really cool prototype. Now, kids, is a prototype a finished video game? No. They didn't have the story for the game. I want everyone to understand this because this video is going to go out there and it's going to be out in the public. They still do not have the story for the game completely storyboarded. They still do not have the entire... They need a wall in one of their offices where they have it fucking storyboarded and they know the key beats of the story. Not just some generalized AI slop fucking explanation where they go, hey, you go back and you try to take over England. That's not a game. That's a sentence. Okay? It's not a game. That you're just saying stuff. There's tons of people. Go to any video game creator Discord where they have, or any Facebook group with like 30,000 people, and you'll have those guys in there just saying wild shit. They never complete it. Now, these guys actually have made something. I'm not saying the game is fake. That's the problem. But when you present something as almost fully finished and you set a release date that's right around the corner, and then a dev goes, hey, that's not possible. That can't be true. That's not going to be the game that you're promising them. And before we get on this fucking hype train, these are indie devs. This is not a AAA studio. So I guess that means in regular users' eyes that we should cut them some slack. Okay, well, they have been cut slack. They have one of the most highly anticipated games on the planet in their back pocket because they have overpromised. And they have cut together a trailer that looked really good. And it made people nostalgic for Army of Darkness. That is their whole thing. But no, this is not the game they promised. This is not the game they promised. I'm sorry. Looks nothing like the game they promised. And it looked worse. It was actually way worse than this.
2 new rifles and 2 submachine guns. These guns aren't created equal, as the game now has a strict armor penetration system. 22 caliber rounds won't be able to penetrate steel armor or steel shields, so try to aim for exposed weak spots. And there are quite a few new weapons to equip.
Right. Okay. Again, doesn't look like the game that they promised. If people knew, you know, I find it funny how the well-polished trailers have millions of views, and these can barely break 100.
Complete 360-degree aim spaces for all guns. However, you'll be quite vulnerable, as you can't use your shield. If you happen to get debiked, a waypoint appears in the game world over the motorcycle, though you can also press Q to teleport it to your location, and you may need it to get out of harrowing situations. Transitioning on and off the bike is seamless, with smooth camera transitions. When on the motorcycle...
Smooth camera transitions, guys, getting on and off a bike. The pinnacle of gameplay. The pinnacle. Absolute fucking pinnacle of gameplay. Better than GTA.
You can seamlessly transition into and out of the convertible.
Seamless.
From any angle, and even while it's moving.
Okay, and this is just nostalgia preying on Age of Empires 2 people. We all know that. It's just so annoying to see it, because it's just it's nostalgia baiting shit like this that gets people to spend money on stuff that's not what they promised.
Once inside, you'll have full access to your arsenal. The car's physics and visuals still need a bit of tuning.
Oh, no way.
But it's already shaping up to be one of the best vehicle implementations we've seen in a third-person game. You can even drive your motorcycle to it, which has also been improved. You can now dismount your motorcycle, even at full speed.
Let me hit you back with that.
Person game. You can even drive your tuning, but it's already shaping up to be one of the best vehicle implementations we've seen in a third-person game.
Best vehicle implementations in a third-person game. Period. Period. Not, it's looking pretty good, guys. I think people will like it. No. This is the fucking best ever, period. I would have to disagree. That's just me. I don't like the claims that these guys make. It's fucking annoying.
Around the map, mostly hidden in enemy buildings. Looting and exploration are now a significant part of the game. You'll find gold, precious gems, and holy relics to unlock permanent upgrades in our plan.
Yeah, and probably some keys to unlock some gates, right? All I'm saying, guys, is this is not finished by any means. It is not finished, and they're delaying it indefinitely to finish it. Because now that they've taken people's money, they kind of need to finish it. They kind of need to finish it. And that's the biggest thing about this.
You too.
I mean, look at this.
Or maybe you'd prefer to try out one of our new motorcycles.
Look at it, dude.
Which is pretty fun. But watch out for enemy archers.
Watch out. Definitely watch out for those enemy archers. And I wouldn't necessarily describe the AI as like really good either. Like what I'm seeing, you know, Total War could have came out with this shit in like 2000. Like I don't know if these guys have like an ego problem, because they keep making these statements saying that better than GTA 6, you know, and I get some of it's for the memes. Of course, absolutely. I'm not fucking delusional. I get some of it's for the memes. But it's the sheer number of claims that I see from these guys that makes me think a little bit about it, okay? Where I'm like, maybe they actually believe what they're saying, because that's a fucking problem. No indie dev is going to go out there and say, I'm better than GTA 6. Get fucking reality checked, man. And like, when I look at this, I don't necessarily...
As you can see, the player's overshield now becomes visible when he takes...
Yeah, his overshield, guys. The thing from fucking Halo. His overshield. Not listening to this fucking AI voice anymore. Better than GTA 6, apparently, though. And when I see this, I don't see that trailer, guys. That's my point. I don't see the trailer in this. I see the reality of the game, and no one wants to accept it. 228, by the way. So many human beings have watched this. Probably less, seeing as how I've watched them several times to record. So, you know, and they have all these cutaways, okay? They have all these cutaways to these different environments. Can I just help those who don't understand game design for a second understand that these are playtest maps? These maps do not exist. These are little squares with shit on them to test what the game might look like if it were implemented. These are not maps that are in the game. These are not finished maps in the game. I don't know how to explain that to people. Like when you're loading into another part of a game, you have this screen that comes up and it switches maps. They have a playtest button where they hit play at the top and they go into their little toy box and it's just a square with this shit on it. It's not like that these are fully finished, custom-made maps with everything done on them at all. They have never shown that. These are cutaways. These are like 5-second cutaways, especially in the trailer. It was all staged to look like something that it wasn't. And that's what I'm trying to get at. And you can tell when this car, if you watch my old video, when this car goes into that portal, that's it. It doesn't actually go into a portal, okay? They had to cut to a new scene where they were driving the car in a different map, okay? Because that's how movie magic is done. To make it look good, to make it look finished, to make it look sellable, to make it look like it might be if it were finished. But then you might be asking yourself, well, how can it be on screen if it's not real? Well, that's the beauty, right? Look at any movie and look at a green screen. It's like they're not actually in front of this castle with dragons, okay? None of that's real. The reality is that the game uses props and highly detailed things in the trailer that it can't possibly render or keep up with in a real live game. Now, having bitched and moaned and said all this stuff, do I think that they're going to release? I would think, yeah, I think they have to. I don't really think that they have a choice to not release. I I think that Tiny Build gave them money, and they're under an extreme amount of pressure to finish that because they're getting a movie deal. And this could be one of those defining moments in life where if they don't finish this game, they are never going to work again. But if they do finish the game, they're going to get so much money they never have to worry about anything again. Okay? So, do I think that they will finish the game? Yes. I think it will take them a long time, and it might never get to that high bar that they themselves put above them. I don't think that they'll ever reach that bar. I think the game will still come out, but I think it will not exactly be what people were thinking. And you know what? There is another aspect to this that I haven't talked about. Some of you don't care. Some of you are fine with what I have shown you, and some of you are just like, well, other indie games are worse than this, and I'd play it even if it was, $25, $40, whatever they're going to sell it for. That's fine. I'm just saying that what they set out to in the beginning was not possible for their timeline. It wasn't possible because it wasn't finished and it wasn't done, and that's been proven. And now I finally have some ground to talk about it because it's public. But when I said it when it wasn't public, that was an issue. Now that it's public, thankfully, I can make another video and I can talk about it. But no, it's not a fake game in the sense that it is actually being made and it will come out. It just might not be the gold standard. And for a lot of you, that might not matter. I mean, look at games like Valheim. Valheim was not finished when it came out. It didn't have everything in the game, and people loved it just fine. It didn't have to look like the best game. It didn't have to be the best game. It had rudimentary systems, rudimentary combat, really, when you think about it. Had a good food system, but overall, it's a very simple, fun game. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't lie about the game. They didn't go out there and fucking lie through their teeth and set goals and set stuff that was just completely impossible that I know of. Maybe I'm wrong about them too. That I know of, they released their game and they said, here's what it is, guys. We're going to go early access. We're going to get money and we're going to keep developing. And that's fine. I'm not here to hate on indies, but I am saying that if you lie to people and hype people up about something that cannot exist, that, to me, that's annoying because guess what that does? When a consumer sees something from an indie dev in the future that's not this good looking, they're going to judge them. If this failed, they're going to judge indie devs even harder based on this failing. And it happens all the time. And the reality is, indie dev can be, it just means independent. And it can be anything from a 2D game where it's just click and it's just story, all the way up to a game that frankly looks AAA. It can be anything in between. But when you toot your own horn and you make big promises, you have to deliver. And they couldn't. Twice. So I am now making this video with full confidence that maybe some people will be on my side this time. Because that was really annoying, guys. It was really annoying being told to shut my fucking mouth over something that I knew was true. Now, overall, I think the game will come out, and it might not. But where I'm at right now, see, like, these scenes don't exist. God damn it, I hate seeing this shit. This is not real. It's not real. God, the audio, dude. It's not real. Just setups in a thing. We don't even see the planes any other time but right here. Why? It's not real. Didn't implement it. This obviously not real. Completely staged environment. Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? In this game, what is this? And this is an entirely different game that we're seeing than what we just saw. And that's the reality. I don't know if it'll ever get to this level. I don't know if it'll ever be this good. But what I do know is that they're working on it, and they have apparently indefinite amounts of time to work on it since it's indefinitely delayed. But I'm more confident now that they've delayed it indefinitely. Now that they've said we are actively working on it, and now that they've admitted the stuff that I already knew, that I've already told people, that they only had 4 programmers on their team, and apparently they've added more people, which is what they should have done. You know, they would have never met those dates, but they should have done that already. You need an artist. You need a UX guy that knows UI and maybe does art as well. Get a threefer. Find somebody who knows UX and knows how to make the UI feel good. Get somebody who really understands cinematic feel of working in Unreal, because there are filmmakers that work in Unreal that you could hire to make this look more clean, more tight, more polished, without adding any extra to the game. And you could, with the guy that does the art, that knows the UI, they're going to make the UI feel good, and they're going to make it feel clean, and they're going to spruce everything up. Get them to design the main menu, you know, get them to design, you know, and if they know the art too, that's fantastic. Get them to run through and work on the textures, you know, I mean, that's all they need, because the 4 programmers should be able to take care of everything else. And if they can't, then we're back to square one with my first video where I say, this game's not real, you know? But that's all I have to say, guys. Look, I reply to every single comment. I had to make this to vent, 1, and for 2, I just feel like, bro, somebody's got to speak on this. I cannot be the only game developer out there who sees this shit and is not a little bit mad about it. Like, guys, I get something looking cool, but like, so did Cyberpunk, bro, and that was a AAA studio. So did Starfield. Starfield was highly anticipated, even though we pretend like that never happened. This just isn't the game that they're promising. This is the game you're getting. And if you're okay with this game, look, this guy says good joke. I don't know. You know, if you're okay with a truly indie game, because that's what this feels like to me. This feels like a lower tone indie game. This doesn't feel like some cinematic, amazing, hyper developed AAA masterpiece. And that's fine, as long as you can finish it. Because guess what? When I made my first video, I would say the game was maybe 50% finished. Didn't have the UI, didn't have the story, didn't have the anything else besides the physics of the house. Didn't even have the maps complete. Didn't have the story drawn out. Didn't have the characters' names, for fuck's sakes. It took them so long to cobble that together through whatever chat GPT bullshit that they did. You know, I just don't like people tooting their horn and saying that they're like so good, and then they come out with something like this. Like, there are plenty of indie devs coming out with more polished games than this and not lying about it, not going off the fucking deep end about it, not delaying their games. You know, go play Manor Lord. Go play Manor Lord. Manor Lord got an update. Go play Manor Lord. Okay? Support Manor Lord. Do that. You know, some of these guys out here working don't have to lie about their stuff, and they don't have to promise big, and they don't have to lie about the polish of their game or what state it's in or keep secrets from the public, because guess what? They made the game, it's selling well, the development's going well. I don't know what will happen. I fully, just locking this in for the last time, I fully believe that the game will come out. I do not think it'll come out soon. I think they need at least one more year. One more year is what they need. They need those people I talked about that they needed to hire, and they need 1 year, and they could come out with something really well done. It still will not be as good as the trailer and the hype that they put behind it. But it will be a game, and it will be finished. Okay? So no, I don't consider a game real if you're hyping it up and trying to get pre-sales and it's not even finished or even close to being finished. You know, I don't think that when an indie dev goes into Unreal and works on one aspect of the game for 4 years, that is equal to a finished product. Sorry. It's not. So, I replied to all the comments, guys. I've said what I said. If you're mad at me, I'm very sorry. I am. I am truly sorry that I vented. I'm truly sorry that I'm human. And I'm sorry that I'm making a big fuss about this. But a lot of people said a lot of fucking hurtful shit. And, you know, I realize making this video that this isn't how I should act. This isn't how I should be. But it is annoying that no one's on my side. That's crazy. That's crazy. I cannot be the only one that sees this shit and thinks like, I mean, look at this shit. It's a game. It's just not the game they promised you. And I'm sorry. I hope someone comes around and dethrones them and makes the game they promised. That's how I feel, dude. But you know what? That's just me being petty. That's just me being petty and mad. Anyway, I'm stopping the video here because it's just I can't keep making this fucking video. But I need to vindicate myself and to at least let people know what's really going on. Okay? Because that letter that they put out is such a bitch cop-out. They're going to need a year. They're going to need to hire more people that aren't programmers, and they're going to need to knuckle down on the fucking project, finish it, and get it out before the movie. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Hopefully, in about 6 months, we will know something, because what's going to happen is either the game is going to make progress, or Tiny Build has to start pulling investments and cutting ties with these people and protecting themselves. So that's what's going to happen. That's what happens in the real world, and we'll see how it goes. First, and most possibly, the movie will be put on ice, and we'll get some information about that, and then we'll hear that the project did what it did, or what have you with that. That's the order it should show up in, because the people that are involved with the movie don't know the state of the game and don't realize that their investment is at risk too, because no one wants to see a movie about a game that lied about being finished and told everybody this crazy release date, and you know, they don't want to put their money into it either, and don't want to risk their name either. So anyway, I'll reply to all the comments. The comments will be brutal on me again, I'm sure. I will answer everything that anyone posts, and we will just try to get through this. I may make another video or a follow-up if y'all have questions. Again, I am sorry about the way I'm acting, but it is what it is. I'm a person. I don't have control of that sometimes, how I feel about things. And I just think this whole situation is silly, and I don't think I should be attacked for pointing out obvious things. And you know, everything that's going on here with them should make people mad. I don't know why it's not. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.